Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
It's The In Show, Australia's only show dedicated to innovation from Adelaide, Australia and across the globe.
It's David Grice and Troy Sincock talking innovation. We've been doing it for almost a year and it's been, such an incredible experience. Surprisingly, we've been nominated for the Australian Podcast Awards.
Yeah, we've been nominated in the business and marketing category.
Yep.
And it used to be called the business marketing and innovation category. Dropped the innovation off because it's a very long word and it didn't kind of fit in the box. But
I feel a bit more important now that we're business and marketing.
Yes,
that's right.
Which is good. But we're also up for a popular vote as well. So you guys can jump online and please vote for us at the Australian Podcast Awards.
Yep, AustralianPodcastAwards.com is where you'll find it. Now, some inspiring words.
Yeah, we're talking to Matt Tetlow from Inovor Technologies about the value of creating an ecosystem and building connections within a community.
Well, I think an ecosystem is so important. You can't just get up and have the space industry and it's just me and I can do everything and I don't want anybody else to be there with you. You basically have to have this ecosystem. So I would strongly encourage everybody who's got an idea, got a passion for it, to give it a go. See where your widget fits in the world and, talk to the people. The industry is very open. It's a very tight-knit community. Everybody knows each other. And it's fantastic when you get into it. You kind of have reach across a number of different companies as well, and schools and universities. And we try and engage with schools as well, and obviously I'm very close to the university, so yeah, I strongly encourage you, just give it a go. I mean, you got to have a lot of drive and persistence, because you get knocked back all the time. Just be prepared to get knocked back, and just make sure you're ready for being knocked back, and don't stay sitting down when you do get knocked back. Just stand up again and try again, and eventually it sort of happens. I spent a number of years trying to get launch type projects off, like sort of control systems for rockets and things like that, trying to get grants in the Australian Space Research Program came up and all those sorts of things. I applied for all of the rounds and got nothing, and you kind of build yourself up to you think you're going to get it and then you don't get it. So I mean, I've got so many of those, and it's difficult. I won't lie to you, it's not the sort of thing that I like doing. I much prefer when you have success stories. And the same with our satellite, didn't go to plan, and that was very disappointing. There's a lot of work and a lot of people put a lot of effort into it, but the thing is, you just got to rather step back and say, well, what did we learn from it? We learned so much more. I mean, there's no one in Australia that's built as many subsystems as we have. So anybody else who wants to get in this still hasn't learned the lessons that we have. So we're still ahead of everybody else, and we have a great team. And you just got to, I guess, persevere, get around the right people. Make sure that you're open to having other people with different ways of thinking. Get everybody together. So it's about getting an ecosystem and giving it a go. And basically, if you get knocked back, okay, you can sit down for a couple of days and lick your wounds, but then get up again and say, well, what did I learn from it? Where do we go from here?
That was Matt Tetlow from Inovor Technologies on the In Show podcast. It's David Grice and Troy Sincock. And on the next podcast, you're going to hear the whole show. There's a stack of content in there from, we've been talking gaming. You'll get to hear us at the Adelaide Podcast Festival. That was an experience, David.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That guy with the flute that took people up into the forest and had them lay down, that was amazing.
It sure was.
The attitude consultant with his sunglasses, the girl that interviewed the mermaid. Wow, there was some pretty wacky content.
There really was. But I still can't go past how large that guy's flute was.
It really was massive. It kind of looked like a harp. Like, I wasn't really sure what was going on.
Yeah, but I was really disappointed he didn't play it for us.
He did. Anyway, look, I've checked him out on YouTube, and the bloke has got a huge following. So you can find out more about the Adelaide Podcast Festival tomorrow and what went down when we caught up with Leanne Isaacson, Australia's most connected LinkedIn woman. That's on the next In Show podcast.
The In Show, Inspiration. Subscribe to the In Show podcast on iTunes. A Dave and the Beanstalk production.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.